So I didn't learn anything. I learned absolutely nothing from the Heat's Game 1 win. I was just reminded of everything.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So you remember yesterday I said usually it's going to be the angrier player that's going to win the battle.
You said
in a fight, y'all, in a street fight, if nobody has any sort of martial arts, Mortal Kombat credentials,
over here,
if it's just straight mano y mano, then I'm always going to bet on the angrier fighter. Period.
There you go.
I gave the story. I was in Jester East. That's the dorm in Austin, Texas, on our 40 acres campus. And I walked through the hallways one day. I saw two cats fighting. It was Dan Buckner and Javonte Johnson, linebacker, wide receiver, 6'4" versus 6'3", 220 versus 240. It was a fairly even matchup.
That's a big receiver. Whoever.
Big receiver out of Allen, Texas, four-star recruit. It was a fairly even matchup.
Okay.
So I leaned to my right, I asked my dog, I say, hey, what are they fighting about?
In the middle of the fight?
Middle of the fight. I asked my dog what they fighting about because I got to figure out where I'm going to put my money. Who I'm betting on.
You're not going to break it up, though.
No, not at all.
Okay.
I said 6'4", 6'3". I don't want no parts. I'm 6'2".
All right.
I said, what they fighting about? Hey, so-and-so got his girl took. What?
Oh.
I know where I'm putting my money.
Oh, yeah,
I know where I'm putting my money.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet on a dude who's more upset. Jimmy Butler plays every game like he got his girl took. Every game. It don't matter who he playing against. He played every game like he got his girl took. And he played last night like it was Jason Tatum who took her.
I can believe that, though.
No question about it.
That's a good-looking dude. I mean,
that's right.
Respect.
But he played last night like it was Jason Tatum who took her. I didn't learn anything about the Heat's game. I didn't learn anything from the Heat's victory. I was just reminded that the Heat play like some hungry dogs, and hungry dogs gotta eat, and it's the Heat. That's what I was reminded of, Sel. It wasn't as though I learned that the Heat are a good team. They're one seed. Duh, they're a good team. It's not like I learned that Eric Spoelstra can coach. He's an NBA championship coach. He's a future Hall of Fame coach. Duh, he can coach. Right. It wasn't like I learned that Jimmy Butler gets buckets, averaging 28 points per game thus far through the season, through the Heat's playoffs. Duh, he can get buckets. Nicknamed Jimmy Buckets. I was just simply reminded, yeah, Spoelstra can coach. Butler can get buckets, and the Heat are a great team. We learned nothing new. I came on the show yesterday, and I think we do, in fact, have the sound. I came on the show yesterday, and I just said, hey, give me Butler over Tatum, because Butler is hungrier. Tatum is prettier. You can talk on or off the court. Tatum is prettier. Tatum, like, he just makes it look so smooth. You remember he went step back, right hand?
Yeah.
Kissed him. Oh, my God. Tatum is prettier with it.
Yes, he is.
But Jimmy Butler just gets it done. And the Heat find a way to get it done. I learned absolutely nothing from watching that game last night. But I was reminded of everything.
Okay, I'm going to borrow from you. I was reminded as well. All right, let me not lie. I did learn that Jimmy Butler way better than I give him credit for. And I know Jimmy a little itty-bitty. I hope he didn't see yesterday's show. I hope he's watching right now, because good Lord. Wow. I was feeling like them two dudes fighting in the dorm. Jimmy Butler was just beating me down in terms of his intensity and production. I respect that. I did learn that Jimmy Butler, who now has 5 games with the Miami Heat, of 40 or more points in the postseason and 0 in the regular season, that Jimmy Buckets needs the moment to be bigger for him to be his best. But what I was reminded of, to borrow from you, a number 1 seed at home needs to get the cobwebs out their eye in the first half, and then the second half they're going to show up. What I was reminded of is how great Eric Spoelstra is in terms of coaching in his mind. You know how some coaches, you go into a halftime, and let's just say it's all about the Gatorade, the oranges, and going to the bathroom. And some coaches use halftime for what it's really for, adjustments. They're going to tear that whiteboard up. All the Sharpies out, all the dry erase markers out. They tearing the whiteboard up. And Eric Spoelstra went out there, and in that second half, they manifested what he put on that whiteboard. Let's talk about what happened. Boston went cold from three-point. They didn't make a 3. Let's talk about in the second half, the rebounds. You could talk about in the third quarter specifically, got out-rebounded, more turnovers. What happened was Boston, being real, Boston's still going to win the series. I can see it right now. And you want to do this again? You and Slick Rick, y'all want to do this again with last series? Y'all would talk about Milwaukee. I can tell you how this is going to go. Miami at home, rested. Boston coming like that? Even Marcus Smart, Al Horford, we get all that. But, hey, we're missing Kyle Lowry. Second half, hey, y'all got to do this. Just get over here. Jimmy. Okay, let's go. And they went out there and handled business. But now Boston is sitting there still in South Beach thinking, you know what? We had them. Now we know how to finish them. Because they're not going to be as fatigued. Coming off a 7-game series, when you're not the better team by seeding on the road, it caught up to Boston.
Sure.
But I think there's going to be some time elapsing now. They're going to recover, recharge, and go out there revitalized. What I learned, Jimmy Bucket's not playing in this postseason. What I was reminded of, number 1 seed should win that first game at home, even if it's a second-half surge.
I'm not the kind of guy to say I told you so. Not big I told you.
You did it twice in that block without saying it, but I mean, yesterday, Sal. You gonna do it again? You got sound?
No. I mean, I you're right. I mean, can we just, since we have it, we might as well play it. We might as well play it. Heller, Coleman, somebody. Can we play it?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Take your girl, too. I understand that Jimmy Butler has a greater resume than Tyler Hero. But Tyler Hero, to me, is buckets now on the ride. Jimmy Buckets.
Now, Sal.
I meant Jimmy Buckets. I said buckets.
You shouldn't have had to learn that. You shouldn't have had to.
Love Tyler Hero.
You shouldn't have had to, but you did. Here's the only thing I can say I learned. The only one, y'all. The only thing I can say I learned is that the Heat are a team built through adversity. I'll be honest, I thought the game was over yesterday after the half.
Yeah.
I was like, man, Boston, if they can already do this to Miami with Horford out and Smart out, it's a wrap. But then, Sal, I learned, wait a second, the Heat have the best record in basketball since the biggest team intra-altercation occurred this season. You remember it was March. Jimmy Butler, Eric Spoelstra, literally about to go to blows, y'all. Literally, the head coach for the Miami Heat and the star player for the Miami Heat about to go to blows because the Heat just got blown out by the Warriors without Steph, without Draymond, without Clay. They about to fight. Since that moment, the Miami Heat have the best record in the National Basketball Association.
I thought Boston was the hottest team at the end.
Not since that moment.
Oh, okay,
since that moment, Miami
in your dorms.
15-6 have the best record in basketball. The Heat are a team built through adversity. They went into half down by 8. You're at home. You're the healthier team. You're the more rested team. And you are down by 8 to a team that just came through a dogfight in 7 games. Adversity. But what happened coming out of the half? All of a sudden, Jimmy Butler turns it on. He has 27 points where he only had 14 in the first half. And Eric Spoelstra turns it on because Eric Spoelstra, he solicits his bench players to start balling. Now Vincent and Strus end up going for 12 and 11, respectively. The reason the Celtics are actually in trouble, and I wanted to choose the Celtics, but I don't know if I can anymore. The Heat have a better best player. We learned that. And the Heat have a better coach. I love Ime Udoka. First off, he's Nigerian. Obviously, I have to love him. But I love Ime Udoka. I really do. But at the end of the day, he's going to have to take his lashes and lumps like every other first-timer. Eric Spoelstra severely outcoached him in the second half. In football, Sal, you learn how great a coach is not by what you see in the first quarter. You know better than I. You learn how great a coach is by what do you see in the third quarter. What do you see coming out of halftime? First quarter, truth be told, I'm going to tell y'all a secret. We really all just playing blind out there. We all just trying to figure it out.
Guessing game.
It is a complete guessing game in the National Football League in the first couple quarters. We just going to come out, play our vanilla defense, see what the offense is going to do. Offense is going to come out with the game plan, see how the defense is going to react. By a third quarter, when we eating our bananas, when we taking our pickle juice, when we eating our orange slices, when the coaches run back in, all right, man, sit up. Linebackers, come to the front. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, guys. That's really when you can tell how good a coach is. In basketball, that third quarter is when we learn. The Celtics gave up 39 points in the third quarter. 5 more points than they'd given up in any quarter all season long.
Let's go.
5 more points than the Celtics defense had given up in any quarter all season long. Miami Heat came out in that third quarter and made adjustments. Jason Tatum, 6 turnovers in the third quarter alone. Keep in mind, Jason Tatum was cooking in that first half. 21 points, y'all. But rest of the game, he only had 8 points. Jason Tatum, first half, plus 14. Rest of the game, minus 22. Jimmy Butler, first half, 14 points. Rest of the game, 27. Come the third quarter, when coaches got to coaching, Eric Spoelstra told Ime Udoka and showed Ime Udoka what it's really about. That's what I learned, is that the Heat are a team built through adversity, and their best player is better, and their coach is better.
Oh, that was too strong for me. Too strong. If Spoelstra outcoached him the second half, that means he got outcoached the first half.
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. So we balanced. All right.
Not balanced.
Yeah, I think we balanced. You outcoached me for one half. I outcoached you for one half. I don't want to hear your resume. I don't want to hear where LeBron and Dwayne Wade was here.
What half means more, though? You know how it goes.
Okay. I give you that. All right. Tie goes to you. Here we go. Jimmy Butler went off, right? Jason Tatum went off in the first half.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but you're going to give, obviously, to Jimmy Butler.
Yes, sir.
Was Marcus Smart?
He was not.
Who is that? Defensive Player of the Year?
Yes, sir, he is.
You think Jimmy Buck is going off like that against Marcus Smart? I don't think so. Whatever level is going to hurt, whatever level Jimmy Butler comes down to, it won't be the same. Let's just go there. Al Horford missing as well. Do you know that is 13 points and 15 points, not even talking about the defense, not even talking about the savvy of Al Horford that is missing from this lineup. Grant Williams, is he a good player, great player, role player, wherever you want to put him, he's a player, right? Mm-hmm. We saw him last time before yesterday, 27 points. Last night, 7. Grant Williams going to find his way. He's going to find his groove. You get Horford back, you get Smart back, you get the defense back, you get the savvy back. All of a sudden, it's not so much on the coaching. It's on the players out there. And Jason Tatum, in the second half, can't be Jason Tatum he was last night. Second half, he looked atrocious compared to what he looked like in the first half. So now, all of a sudden, you should be thinking, maybe Boston can do something in this series. Maybe Boston will win this series. Horford, Smart, presence, defense. On top of that, some of these role players are just going to find their water. They're going to find their way. That's why I think that the Miami Heat may be in trouble. Because what they used was fatigue. What they use is their coaching. But I don't know how much Eric Spoelstra is going to be able to outcoach the Boston Celtics because they are well coached. They went from being offensive-minded to defensive-minded in 1 year. They went from just having ballers to playmakers that can ball. That's why this is going to be an interesting series. I know it's going 7, but I still think Boston's going to sneak
it. It is, but here's what we talk about. We make a 7-game series seem so long, but a 7-game series is also not all that long. It can be relatively short. Heat only got to win 3 more games. Like, we acting like that's the whole, oh, my God, the Heat got to sit here and outlast them for 82. Heat got to win 3 more, y'all. Eric Spoelstra got to outcoach Ime Udoka for 3 more, y'all. Jimmy Butler had a quiet 41, mind you. It was only on 19 shots.
Yeah.
He gave you 41 points on 19 shots, 17 of 18 from the stripe. Jimmy Butler had a silent 41 points. It was not loud. It was not flashy. It was not a whole bunch of pizzazz. So it's not like Jimmy Butler did something we've never seen before, as you told us. He's got 44 40-point games in the playoffs for the Heat. Yeah. Furthermore, he's averaging 29 in the playoffs right now. Yeah. So Jimmy Butler having 40 is not even all that outlandish. No. You talk about the Heat. You talk about the Celtics. Grant Williams only had 7. Truth be told, that is who Grant Williams is. Yeah. Remember, his 27 was a career high, and it beat his previous game's career high of 21. So Grant Williams ain't a 20-point dropper. No, he's a 7 to 10-point dropper. Pritchard, he balled yesterday for the Celtics. Now, I understand that Smart was not there, but Smart's not a guy who's going to give you 20. Pritchard gave you 8 points in 8 minutes immediately off the bench and then rounded out, I believe, by having 10 points in the first half. So Pritchard was getting buckets. As I look at it, did the Celtics give us their best shot, us being the Miami Heat? Absolutely not. Horford is still somebody to reckon with. And to your point, Marcus Smart going to bring Jimmy Butler down a little bit. I think when Tyler Hero's on the court, Marcus Smart is probably going to match up with Tyler Hero. But if they do put him on Butler, Marcus Smart's going to bring Jimmy Butler down a little bit. But at the end of the day, Butler's a better player, Spoelstra's a better coach, and at a minimum, we learned that yesterday.
I'm reminded of Butler picking on Pritchard defensively because he just knew. Got to take advantage of it right now. Wow. Smart's not here, whatever that annoyance is going to be, irritants is going to be to me going forward. 28 points is missing. Horford, Smart. Defense is missing. Experience is missing. And y'all need a second-half surge to beat us at home, and y'all rested? I just know how the mindset go. We always talk about the 2 scoreboards. There's one with the points. You guys were down 8, and you end up winning this game convincingly. Respect. You're supposed to. The series doesn't start, as I quote, who is it, the famous philosopher, James Harden, belly and all. James Harden, series don't start till the road team wins.
Road team wins.
Well, the series can end before the road team wins as well. But in this series, I think it's going 7 right now. Psychologically, I think that the Boston Celtics fatigued. Now it's going to come back rested and recharge mentally because they feel like we match up well with this team. They were outscored. The Boston Celtics gave up the most points they have this entire postseason in this game. I don't think it was just because of sheer firepower from the Miami Heat. I think it was just a simple, I'm tired, boss. A little of that fatigue caught up with him. Coming up.